Aloha, beloveds. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Welcome to this beautiful day. I'm here out with Mama Gaia at Sacred Waters, beautiful creek spot that I come to frequently to dive into and to refresh myself and to get cleansing and purification from these sacred waters here. And I'd love to share with you some deep insights that have been coming through in my experience thus far today. Today, I woke up feeling very frustrated in my body. Collectively, I feel there's a frustration happening, and individually with myself, I'm just feeling a lot of frustration and anger um, in my body, like physically in my body, feeling stagnant energy and feeling upset. It manifested as feeling upset towards my beloved, my partner, and there was a lot of judgment that was arising and criticisms, and feeling like my unmet needs arising. And thankfully, we were really able to figure out a way to work it out and to for me to express myself. Um, my process was that I tried to express myself with my words, but not in a very direct way, and so that was frustrating to him. And I didn't set a clear intention about what I needed to express, and the container wasn't really there. And so I learned a lot through that process. I um, was able to go and be by myself for a while and ground and center and release through tears, and then write down my expression in a letter to him and just be real vulnerable and raw. And then I took a bath, a warm bath, and centered myself in the water and bathed in the waters and nourished and comforted myself with warm bath, and then gave him the letter, and he was very gracious and just did a really stellar job of reading through the letter sentence by sentence and addressing each of my concerns, and allowing me to add additional information if I needed to. And then he reflected to me what I stated, and spoke for himself, expressed himself around, his response to my statements. And it was very calm. It was very grounded. Uh, we were very present with each other. We were sitting across from one another at eye level, and I lit some sage. And yeah, it was a really beautiful practice. I needed to practice that. And certainly there were moments when I had intense emotions and my voice was raised, and I feel like he held the space really well in a lot of ways, and is also learning too how not to add to that charge. Um, but ultimately it was very, very good, very good. We got back to our center. We used our breathing as a tool. We use eye gazing, eye contact as a tool to connect with each other and take time and deeply listen before speaking, and checking in with ourselves, feeling the feelings that were arising and honoring them and respecting each other's process, and expressing gratitude to one another for our mutual presence, and also for our vulnerability and capacity to listen to the other and to hold space. It was so beautiful, so good. I'd love to talk to others about how this process can unfold. And it's a very easy methodical structure, it's essentially stating, I've said this in other videos, but making I statements, and I feel like you're not showing up for me, or something like that. I feel. The I statements and the feeling part is important. And then once you feel complete, you allow an opening for the other person to reflect, so you can gain a sense of whether or not that person is hearing you. And if they're not hearing you correctly, then you can make a correction. And yeah, it also is kind of puts the other person's feet to the fire in terms of like really paying attention to what's being expressed by the other, because they know that they're going to have to reflect that. And so it forces them to pay attention, and also to notice how they may be misperceiving the person in general, but certainly in that moment. And so I feel it's a very, 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 very powerful practice of active listening and reflecting, and then stating, making the I statements. So using nonviolent communication, staying calm and centered. And if you are upset, taking space to calm down, relax your nervous system. And then, having the closure piece is super important, I've noticed. Once the expressions have been made and the reflections have been made, and both parties feel complete, it's somebody, hopefully both can take turns closing it, expressing gratitude and thanking the other person for sharing, and expressing some positive feedback, and maybe some feedback for how things could be done differently in the future. And yeah, it's such a beautiful practice. I also love working with the fire, having a candle in the middle so that fire can help transmute the energies between the two people. And sage is very helpful, continuing to clear the space with sage. Um, yeah, and then of course coming together afterwards in a hug or a bonding ritual of some sort. And yeah, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I'm learning so much through this relationship. I'm so grateful for the medicine here, for the medicine of my partner, and for the medicine that he's helping me to step more fully into and expressing and practicing. It's such a potent portal for practicing. And I highly, highly recommend, just for myself, being in a deep, monogamous, committed relationship has been so challenging in a lot of ways, but has also been such a profound practice and so helpful to me in my journey. It's translated so much to other areas of my life, and it's helping me grow into my ability to express and also to be present with others. And so that's helping me in my practice when I work with other people, women and men, and hold space in cuddle therapy sessions and in circles. And so I'm super, super grateful. I've also been diving more fully into Robert Moss's material. Um, he wrote a book about manifesting big dreams through dream work. And one of the things that just came through in one of the chapters that I read was that the obstacle can become the way. And I really noticed that today in my interactions with my partner, that the obstacle I was having, the stagnancy and whatnot that I was having, instead of rejecting it or pushing it away or making it a problem, it actually was the impetus for me to move in a certain direction and gain certain insights and come to greater realizations. So the obstacle that I was feeling, and I was projecting that towards my partner, like he's the obstacle or he's impeding the flow or something. But really what that was it was something was coming, boiling up, rising up to the surface that seemed like an obstacle or a challenge or something to get rid of or throw away or run away from, was actually the medicine that I needed to see, that I needed to experience. And so that frustration of the obstacle, those obstacles I was feeling in my field were actually the way, the part of my path. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're feeling obstacles right now or challenges in your life that may be arising that seem like they shouldn't be there, or maybe blocking the way, they're actually the way. They're actually leading you towards the way, or closing off old an old path, and like spurring you forward into a new path, a new way of seeing and perceiving and being. And yeah, I'm really, really grateful for these opportunities, and I actually welcome them. I'm beginning to lean more into comfortability with uncomfortableness, and welcome the challenges when they arise, and not just minimize them or diminish them or push them away or run away, I had this intense sensation to run away, to leave, but I stayed, you know, and I'm so glad that I did and worked it out, even though it was really challenging. It took a good part of the day. I'm so grateful for what happened because I feel so much relief right now that I worked through that. Whereas I feel like if I hadn't and I had run away, it would still, the energy would still be there. I'd still be sitting with it. I'd still be in pain and suffering and darkness, you know, and confusion, and those types of things, if left to fester in one's soul, in one's being, in one's awareness, will manifest as actual disease and illness in the body. And so it's important that we for our own self-care, for our own health, mental health and physical health, that we address energies when they arise. We don't minimize them or push them away or stuff them away or dissociate. You know, so many people are using substances to push away challenges and obstacles and feelings that arise. You know, I don't even have to name all the substances that are being used, but of course the obvious ones are alcohol and marijuana and uh, um, sugar, food, screens, yeah, so many, talking, even not being in silence, not just like sitting with things, and allowing the medicine of the feelings to filter in and go into all those parts of your body and seep in and integrate, you know. And it's learning how to take care of oneself. It's learning how to sit with the uncomfortable feelings, how to allow the medicine to work its way in. And that's deeply what I've been learning through sitting with ayahuasca, is that you have to be open to receive the medicine and allow it to come in. And it's uncomfortable many times. It's so uncomfortable. But then when you let the medicine come down into all those places and remove the blockages and then have that purge, you know, express, talk, um, uh, you know, sometimes it comes out as crying or emoting, even like strong language, you know, like yelling or screaming. If it's not as somebody, I feel like it's cathartic. It's releasing the energies in a purgatory way, just like ayahuasca allows people to purge by vomiting or defecating or crying or shaking or yawning, which is something I frequently do in ceremony, is yawn. And yeah, releasing the energy that way. So yeah, I just want to encourage that it's good. Conflict is a good thing. Obstacles are good things. We don't have to view them as bad or scary or as intimidating. Yes, they're intimidating, but we don't have to be in fear. We can actually welcome those times of challenge. And I believe that right now, this Mercury retrograde that we're in is bringing up a lot of that for a lot of us, for a lot of folks. And it's the medicine that we need right now. And it's an opportunity to reset. It's an opportunity to purge. It's an opportunity to express. It's a practice, you know, not harming. Express and purge in a way that doesn't harm, that doesn't create harm to yourself or trauma to yourself or trauma to other people. And so we're learning how to do that. We're really learning how to do that. I also noticed that it's important that we don't fall into victimhood. We don't fall into perpetrator. We empower ourselves to be proactive, you know, and take accountability and be gentle and wise. Step into our wise wisdom keepers, you know. Um, yeah, and don't be the rescuer. That's one area in which I have a proclivity towards, is being a rescuer, wanting to rescue others from pain and suffering, and you know, but actually that can be an impediment. That can be something not good if I'm trying to save people from feeling things or from going through intense emotions or experiencing pain or uncomfortability. That could very well be the medicine that they need on their journey. And yeah, I fully believe that. I'm coming to greater realizations about that, and I'm just so grateful for these times that we're in. They're deeply transformative, and they have the energy and the um, opportunity, the potential for great ancestral healing right now. And so I welcome that, and I hope that this message finds you really well. Please know that I'm here if you want to reach out for support in any realms, guidance, nutritional support, Reiki, distance healing, um, any way that I can support you, I'm happy to. And I'm really grateful to be in a position I'm in, to be able to be support to others and to learn and grow concurrently as I support others. And yeah, also my partner encouraged that even though I don't like to plug myself necessarily, it's part of my practice is learning how to advocate for myself. And so I would really appreciate it if you feel called to subscribe to my channel. That can help support my YouTube um, um, launch, launching into this YouTube realm. And yeah, feel free to subscribe. I'll be giving almost daily reflections from outside, from out in nature, on my life. Is sort of a vlog in a way. I feel I do have an interesting, unique life, and I've lived an interesting, unique life, and I have wisdom to share. I'm a grandmother, and I have 5 children, and my grandson was just born a few weeks ago. And so, yeah, I have a lot of wisdom. I'm starting to get gray hair, and it's good. It's real good. And so I appreciate you tuning in and listening and learning along with me. And just want to let you know you're doing beautifully. And if you need any support, reflections, guidance, counsel, nutritional support in terms of herbs and food is medicine, please feel free to reach out. Yeah, also love singing. Singing is definitely a medicine for me. And I'd love to teach medicine songs or guide you towards medicine songs, help you on your path. Music is deeply cathartic, dance, toning, vocalizations, the water, the elements, the fire, the earth, the air. Yeah, all of these are medicine. And mantras are medicine for me. To me, my most favorite mantra is the Ganesha mantra. Ganesha is the elephant gatekeeper, and I call upon his spirit, invoke him frequently in my daily life to help open up portals and gateways and remove obstacles, and yeah, open up pathways for me to see more, feel more, receive more, give more. Yeah. So that's a beautiful one to practice. I'm just going to sing it right here a little bit before I close this video log for today. Om Gam Ganapatahe Namaha. 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 Om Gam Ganapatahe Namaha.